All right, folks, I'm here in Atlanta for the Hope Global Forum's annual summit, which is aimed at reimagining the global economy. Joining us right now is Hope Bryant, the CEO and chairman of Operation Hope, and the person putting on this event. John, what's happening?
Well, 3,000 of my friends from around the world, 25 countries, even you, showed up here in Atlanta for this Hope Global Forum. We have billionaires next to multimillionaires, next to thousandaires, next to folks trying to buy some air, and trying to borrow some air with their dreams. And this is what I call civil rights. Civil rights was waged and won in the streets. We all know that movement, and thank God that Ambassador Young and Reverend C.T. Vivian, who are here, hung their lives on the line to make sure we had lives that we could thrive with. But that future is not guaranteed. We got to quote Bernice King, who's here last night, Dr. Bernice King, CEO of the King Center. We got to fight for our democracy every day, reclaim it every day, right? And so this new movement's in the suites, not the streets. It's about class and poverty, not race and the color line. Whether you're white, black, red, brown, or yellow, you want to see some more green. And whatever city you're living in America today, Roland, you're struggling. If you're living in New York City and you're making $70,000 a year, which sounds like a lot of money, you're struggling to make ends meet. I don't care what color you are. You're living here in Atlanta making $50,000 a year, yes, middle class. You're struggling to make ends meet. You got too much month at the end of your money. We have a Hope inside at the Atlanta Police Department here, and the police chief will be here, $48,000 with a badge and a gun.
So
these are people, right? And they're stressed.
So in terms of what will take place, because we started last night, conversation with John Rogers Jr., Ambassador Andrew Young, we'll have that in just a moment. Yeah. But what do you want to see come out of this? What has happened in the past based upon the discussions, the conversations, the folks who have met here? Relationships.
Nothing in life happens without relationships. We have a book dropping today from my publisher, Barry Kohler, called The Memo. And basically it comes out in September, and my point is we never got the memo on money and free enterprise. That goes back to the Freedmen's Bank of 1865, Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass, who you know to be a businessman who put $10,000 of his own money. Who's not still here, Trump. Go ahead, I'm sorry. Right, Go ahead. He passed some time ago, but his legacy's alive. Right. So we give him credit for that. Yes. And this is a businessman who was an abolitionist, not an abolitionist who did other things. Exactly. He owned real estate in Baltimore, owned lots of real estate in Acacia, put $10,000 of his own money, I'm getting to your question, in this government bank, which he knew he wasn't going to get back, in 1865, after Lincoln was assassinated. And it was said the failure of this bank did more to set freed slaves in America back than 10 more years of slavery. It's not like we got the memo and screwed it up, Roland. We never got the memo. So this meeting is about building those relationships with capital. It's about creating a new color, green. It's about going from just being a PhD to a PhD. And then it's about cutting deals. It's about getting people to start. The young lady who gave me this bracelet last night, 17-year-old, started a business. She was selling her stuff here. She was pitching on stage in front of Henry Ford III, in front of the largest mutual fund black-owned in the country, who invested money in her business. This young lady also, she made me buy hers, was selling.
Good for her.
Good for her.
Right thing to do.
So it's really about operationalizing a whole generation of builders. I don't care what you're building. Build a daycare network, okay? Build churches that are ethical and honest and that give more than you get. No Rolls Royce running preachers. Build a series of barbershops. I don't care what you build, but build a network, build content, build yourself. Building a university, talk about Morehouse and what you're absolutely right about what it takes to lead a university these days. We need a software upgrade in the black community. Now I know you're talking to everybody, but specifically, I love my black folks. We desperately need a software upgrade. We cannot keep doing what we've been doing 60 years ago, marching and screaming and hollering and expect that's going to be relevant in the 21st century.
Jared, question.
I think you're right on it. I mean, the reality of it is when you look at a progressive city like Atlanta with nearly 50 years of continual black leadership, the wealth gap here is so significant that we got to begin to say, how do we undo this? A child born in poverty at Grady Hospital today is almost not likely to be able to climb from that. We've got to ask, why is that so? And I think Hope Bryant does that better than most here.
John?
Well, we're raising credit scores 120 points in 24 months. Luckily, when you're running a conference, you get them to shut things down. We're going to get them to shut down that noise in the back.
Well, it's all good. First of all, for everybody who's at home watching, literally the first session begins at 8 a.m. once we go off the air. So I'm not worried about it. They're doing their job. We're doing ours, so go ahead.
Yeah, but it's nice to still be able to tell them to shut it down. That's the CEO. So we're raising credit scores 120 points in 24 months because nothing changes your life more than God or love than moving your credit score 120 points. So these neighborhoods that we're concerned about, on the west side of Atlanta, but also Detroit, or wherever you happen to be watching right now, you have a check casher next to a payday loan lender, next to a rent-to-own store, next to a title lender, next to a liquor store robbing us in broad daylight. That's not racism, that's target marketing. They are targeting you. These are predators seeing you as a financially illiterate, low self-esteem victim. And I'm tired of being a victim, so Hope Inside sets you free. And we're mobilizing 1,000 of those locations to finish the work of the Freedmen's Bank. That's the Innovator of the Year Award from the American Banker, and that's getting operationalized at this annual meeting.
A peaceful protest turned deadly. 37-year-old black man was shot and killed by Baton Rouge police. His hands are in the air, and you still get shot by the cops.
Oh my God, please don't tell me he's dead.
We're not gonna let hate define us.
Race is a big part of this.
If truly all lives matter, then all lives need to matter equally.
What we require is action. What we require is accountability. We understand that black lives do matter, and we will keep focused on this issue.
NewsOne Now, every weekday morning at 7 on TV1.